Good morning, friends. I am up and out early this morning. I'm heading to Savannah. Today's my last day here. I am going to go do something I have literally wanted to do for 45 years. I'm going to go visit the birthplace of Juliette Gordon Low, the founder of the Girl Scouts of America. So I was in Scouts for 11 years, from first grade until my junior year in high school. And I've always said I learned more in Girl Scouts than I ever did in 12 years of public school. Nothing against public school. I just learned a lot about life in the Girl Scouts. One of the things that we always wanted to do when we were Scouts was take a trip to the birthplace of the Girl Scouts, to Savannah. But for one reason or another, we just never were able to. I'm sure it was a money thing. It would take a lot of money to send a troop of girls to Savannah, Georgia from a small town in West Texas. So I'm going to go today and check it out. I've always wanted to do this. So I'm leaving super early. I'm going to get there before they're even open because I've got to find a parking spot. I was going to go yesterday and could not find parking. So if I have to get there and wait for an hour, that's okay. All right, heading to Savannah.
She's lost. She's lost on land again. They lost my friend. Lost on land again.
Well, they have these little squares all over town too, which are really cool. Yesterday I was at the one where some of Forrest Gump was filmed and didn't even realize that was the park anyway. But yeah, this is a different one. And they're all just beautiful. So well kept. See, I'm going to plop, I think, and have a sit for a little while. And just enjoy this. And then the city noises all around me. Oh, so cool. So I guess they're doing a little remodeling. It says, "Pardon our cookie crumbs." That's great. Yep, they open in about 15 minutes. So hopefully I can get a little tour this morning. Shortly after I paid my $12 admission, they informed me that there was no video allowed. No video or no audio, but still shots were okay. So I took some photos and I learned so much on this tour. Juliette Gordon Low was born on October 31st, 1860, so this was during the Civil War. Now, her parents had differing views on politics. Her father was a cotton broker and her mother was an abolitionist. One of the stories they told was that her mother had Sherman over for tea, and all of her friends said, "Well, you can't do that." And she said, "Well, we don't have to share the same political views to be friendly." And so the story goes that that is why Sherman chose not to burn Savannah to the ground like he did so many cities in the South. Another great story I heard was that when Juliette was little, her nickname was Daisy, and that's where Daisy Scouts came from. When Daisy was young, she used to slide down the banister of this fabulous stairwell. The tour guide recommended that we not try it, and I didn't. But can you imagine how fun? Another thing I didn't know about Juliette or Daisy was what an artist she was. Now, her favorite medium was sculpting, and she was very, very talented. The house had a lot of items that were actually from the 1860s, and then a few that weren't. But the chandeliers, for example, they told me that when they took over this house and made it part of the Girl Scouts Historical Society thing that it is now, that they found the chandelier in a bathtub upstairs, and it was missing a few parts, but they put up what they had left. I also had a question about why the ceilings were so high and the doors were so huge. She explained that they didn't have air conditioning back then, and it gets really hot and muggy in Savannah. So this way they could open up all their windows and get some nice ventilation going through there. I found that very interesting. I just loved this house. It was so awesome. I'm really glad I took this tour. How the Girl Scouts came to be was that Juliette Gordon Low was friends with Robert Baden-Powell, and she had him over for tea, which was a thing back then. And she was telling him how she wished that there was something like the Boy Scouts for girls. And he said, well, there can be. You can do this. And so she did. She started the Girl Scouts of America.
Could be a couple more. I just haven't seen where those are. Because they were chitter-chattering back and forth. And
I've been trying to get a recording of them doing that.
Me too.